Hello, I'm Essay, your AI essayist. Please note that all content, audio and video in this presentation are AI generated. As AI can sometimes produce inaccuracies, I encourage you to verify any factual information presented. With that in mind, let's begin.
The key to Al-Tasrif limina jaza and Al-Talif, or the method of medicine for those who cannot compose a work of their own, completed around the year 1000 by Abulcasis Khalaf ibn al-Abbas Al-Zahrawi, known to the Latin West as Abulcasis, represents a culminating achievement of medical thought in Al-Andalus. It is an encyclopedic work of 30 treatises, a vast repository of clinical knowledge that synthesizes Greek, Roman and contemporaneous Islamic medical traditions into a coherent, practical guide for the physician. This essay undertakes a direct evaluation of the internal claims, methodologies, and conceptual frameworks presented within the key sections of Al-Tasrif. The analysis proceeds systematically through its major divisions, examining the evidence Al-Zahrawi marshals for his therapeutic and diagnostic assertions, and assessing the logical coherence of his arguments as they stand within the intellectual firmament of his era. The objective is to move beyond general accolades and engage with the text on its own terms, exploring the substance of its medical doctrine and the precise nature of its contribution to the art and science of healing. Section 1. The propedeutic framework of humoral pathology. The initial treatises of Al-Tasrif establish the theoretical bedrock upon which the entire edifice rests. Al-Zahrawi's foundational claim is that a comprehensive and effective medical practice derives from a correct understanding of Gaelic humoralism. He presents a systematic exposition of the four humours: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile, and their corresponding qualities of hot, cold, wet, and dry. His argument posits that health is a state of humoral equilibrium, or eucrasia, while disease, or dyscrasia, arises from their imbalance in quantity, quality, or location within the body. The methodology presented is fundamentally diagnostic. The physician's first task is to interpret the patient's symptoms, pulse, and uroscopy as external signs of an internal humoral derangement. The evidence for this framework is primarily a logical and philosophical inheritance from Hippocrates and Galen, which Al-Zahrawi accepts as axiomatic truth. His evaluation of symptoms, such as the colour of the skin or the nature of a fever, is filtered through this lens. A feverish, flushed patient is diagnosed with an excess of sanguine humour, while a pale and lethargic patient is seen to suffer from a superabundance of phlegm. The internal coherence of this section is remarkable. Al-Zahrawi constructs a complete nosological system where every ailment, from a simple cold to a complex melancholy, finds its explanation within the humoral paradigm. The work's claim to utility for the practitioner who is unable to compose his own text is validated here. It provides a ready-made, all-encompassing heuristic for making sense of the chaos of human suffering. The strength of this section is its systematic organization and didactic clarity, offering a powerful, if ultimately incorrect, model of pathophysiology. Section 2. The pharmacological arsenal and materia medica. Following the theoretical groundwork, a significant portion of Al-Tasrif, encompassing numerous treatises, is dedicated to pharmacology and materia medica. The central claim of these sections is that nature provides a complete pharmacy for correcting the humoral imbalances that cause disease. Each medicinal substance, or simple, possesses primary qualities of hot, cold, wet, or dry, in varying degrees. Al-Zahrawi's argument is that the principle of allopathy, treatment by opposites, governs effective therapy. A disease caused by an excess of a hot and dry humour, like yellow bile, must be treated with a remedy that is cold and moist. He provides exhaustive lists of herbs, minerals, and animal products, meticulously cataloguing their supposed properties and therapeutic applications. The methodology is one of careful prescription and compounding. For a given diagnosis, Al-Zahrawi outlines specific recipes, detailing the ingredients and their precise preparation. For example, he presents intricate formulas for electuaries, confections, and syrups designed to target specific organs or humours. The evidence he offers for the efficacy of these compounds is overwhelmingly empirical in a pre-modern sense. It is based on received tradition and his own extensive clinical experience. A particular herb is deemed effective because its use has coincided with patient recovery over generations. Evaluating these claims from a modern perspective reveals a system based on sophisticated observation and analogy, yet lacking a mechanism for controlled verification. The prescription of willow bark, containing salicin, for fevers demonstrates a correct empirical discovery, while the efficacy of many complex polypharmaceuticals or theriacs likely stemmed from a combination of the placebo effect and the occasional active ingredient diluted among dozens of others. The internal logic is consistent if the humoral diagnosis is correct, and the properties of the simples are correctly identified. The cure should follow. This section represents a monumental effort in pharmaceutical botany and chemistry, standardizing knowledge for practical application with an impressive degree of detail. Section 3, the standardization of pharmaceutical preparation, treatise 29, focused on the preparation of drugs, weights, and measures, makes a critical claim regarding the professionalization of medicine. It argues that therapeutic success depends upon the precise and standardized preparation of medicaments. This section is a testament to Al-Zahrawi's meticulous nature, functioning as a practical manual for the apothecary. He provides detailed, step-by-step instructions for chemical processes like sublimation, distillation, and crystallization. He explains how to prepare mineral compounds such as litharge, which is lead monoxide, and tutty, which is impure zinc oxide, for use in ophthalmological ointments. The methodology is purely procedural, a didactic guide to the laboratory techniques of his day. The evidence for his claims lies in the reproducibility of the processes themselves. His lucid descriptions of the apparatus, such as the alembic for distillation, would allow any skilled artisan to replicate his work. Furthermore, he introduces a standardized system of weights and measures, referencing units like the dirham and the mithqal, arguing that consistent dosing is essential for both safety and efficacy. By converting these values, we see a system aiming for precision, where a mithqal is approximately 4¼ grams. The evaluation of this treatise reveals its profound importance in separating the role of the physician-diagnostician from that of the specialized pharmacist. It elevates pharmacy from a faux part to a technical discipline governed by clear protocols. The internal argument is one of quality control. A most brilliant diagnosis is useless if the prescribed remedy is improperly or inconsistently prepared. This section, while less glamorous than surgery, provided a crucial foundation for the development of both pharmacy and chemistry in Europe, where its Latin translation became a standard. Section 4, the surgical treatise and the primacy of cauterization, the 30th and final treatise on surgery, is Al-Zahrawi's most celebrated and original contribution. Its first part makes a bold and central claim that cauterization is one of the most powerful and versatile tools in the surgeon's armamentarium. He argues that the application of controlled heat can resolve tumors, stanch bleeding, treat fistulas, and even alleviate chronic pain like sciatica. The methodology he presents is extraordinarily detailed. For each condition, Al-Zahrawi specifies the exact location for the application of the cautery, the appropriate shape of the instrument, ranging from pointed probes to flat discs, and the indicated duration of the burn. He supports these instructions with clear illustrations of the specialized cauterizing irons, a pedagogical innovation of immense significance. The evidence for the efficacy of cautery is, once again, rooted in his personal clinical experience. He presents it as a last resort, to be used when diet and drugs have failed, yet one that has yielded success in his hands. The underlying therapeutic logic aligns with his humoral theory. The intense heat was believed to resolve morbid humours, dry up excessive moisture, or open blockages. His evaluation of its use for hemostasis during amputation, for example, is empirically sound, as the searing of tissue does indeed prevent catastrophic blood loss. However, its application for conditions like epilepsy or headaches rests on the theoretical conviction that it could expel harmful vapours or humours from the head. The internal argument is one of controlled, therapeutic destruction. Through this treatise, Al-Zahrawi sought to rescue cauterization from the hands of itinerant charlatans and establish it as a legitimate, albeit formidable, medical procedure. Section 5 Operative Techniques and Instrumental Innovation. The subsequent parts of the surgical treatise advance the claim that a wide range of ailments are amenable to direct manual and instrumental intervention. This section constitutes a systematic textbook of operative surgery, unparalleled in its scope and detail for its time. Al-Zahrawi presents clear, sequential instructions for procedures that had been previously described in a cursory fashion or were innovations of his own. His methodology is that of a master craftsman teaching an apprentice for the removal of bladder stones, the procedure of lithotomy. He describes the patient's positioning, the perineal incision, and the use of a specially designed forceps-like instrument, the micarb, to grasp and extract the stone. His description of tonsillectomy involves a tongue depressor and a hook and guillotine instrument, a design that would remain conceptually unchanged for centuries. The evidence for his claims is twofold: the detailed, mechanically sound descriptions of the procedures and the accompanying illustrations of over 200 surgical instruments. Many of these, like the surgical needle with the eye at the point for suturing, or the bone saw with a guard to protect surrounding tissue, were his own inventions or significant improvements upon existing designs. The evaluation of this section reveals Al-Zahrawi as a surgeon with a profound understanding of applied mechanics and anatomy. As far as it was known, his procedures for reducing a dislocated shoulder or setting a complex fracture demonstrate a practical genius. The intellectual weight of history is palpable here, while internal medicine remained constrained by the elegant but flawed theory of humours. Surgery progressed on the basis of tangible, mechanical reality. The very existence of these detailed operative guides makes a powerful claim for the elevation of surgery from a lowly trade to a learned discipline. Equal in stature to internal medicine, his text acknowledges the risks, pain, and frequent failure, yet maintains that with proper knowledge and tools, the surgeon could offer genuine relief. The operation for a dead fetus, involving instruments to break the cranium for extraction, while gruesome, presupposes a rational calculus to save the mother's life, demonstrating a sophisticated medical Section 6 Specialized surgeries, including obstetrics and dentistry. In the final chapters of his surgical treatise, Al-Zahrawi extends his systematic approach to highly specialized fields, including obstetrics, gynecology, and dentistry. The core assertion is that these areas, too, benefit from rational, instrument-based intervention. In obstetrics, he describes the management of dystocia, or difficult labour, providing the first detailed account of what would later be known as the Walcher position to widen the pelvic inlet. He describes destructive embryotomy for cases of fetal demise and, most notably, the use of forceps to assist in extracting a living fetus, a concept centuries ahead of the Chamberlain family's famous secret. The methodology remains procedural and didactic. His dental chapters claim that oral health is integral to general health. He describes the use of fine scrapers for removing tartar, a procedure he advocated for both therapeutic and aesthetic reasons. He details techniques for extracting teeth with forceps, emphasizing the need to avoid fracturing the jaw, and even describes how to wire loose teeth to stable ones using gold or silver thread, a foundational concept in periodontics and orthodontics. The evidence, as throughout the surgical book, is the practicality and mechanical ingenuity of the techniques themselves. The internal logic is that of problem-solving. Faced with a difficult birth or a decaying tooth, Al-Zahrawi devises a specific, tangible solution. The evaluation of these sections underscores his role as a comprehensive physician. He saw no rigid demarcation between medicine, surgery, and dentistry. His work on orthopedics is similarly advanced, with clear descriptions for treating spinal curvatures and compound fractures, including the use of plaster-like casts made from flour and egg whites, a precursor to modern orthopedic casting. These final sections solidify the treatise's claim as a complete surgical encyclopedia, addressing the human body from head to toe with a consistent and innovative practical approach. In conclusion, a direct evaluation of the claims within Al-Zahrawi's Al-Tasrif reveals a work of dual character. Its sections on internal medicine and pharmacology are masterpieces of synthesis and systematization, advancing the claim that the inherited Galenic humoral framework provides a complete and coherent system for diagnosis and therapy, while this framework's empirical foundations were based on tradition and uncontrolled observation. Its logical consistency and encyclopedic scope provided an invaluable intellectual structure for medieval medicine. In stark contrast, the 30th treatise on surgery advances claims grounded in mechanical ingenuity, procedural innovation, and direct empirical intervention. Its evidence lies in the meticulously illustrated instruments and the lucid, step-by-step descriptions of operations that were both practical and, in many cases, life-saving. Here, Al-Zahrawi's arguments are not for a philosophical system but for the efficacy of the surgeon's skill, hand, and well-designed tool. Al-Tasrif's enduring significance, therefore, emerges from this dual achievement. It represents the apex of humoral medicine, a flawlessly constructed theoretical edifice, while simultaneously laying the foundation for the future of surgery as a scientific discipline rooted in anatomy and mechanics. It is at once the grand summary of a millennium of medical thought and the prophetic beginning of a new, more interventive era.
We really appreciate you tuning into this AI-powered presentation. Our goal is to push the boundaries of AI in content creation, and your input is invaluable. If there's a particular subject you'd like to see us tackle next, or if you have suggestions on how we could fine-tune our AI's creative prompts, please don't hesitate to leave your ideas in the comments section. We're excited to bring you more unique content very soon.